Yeah, I know. What we did, and I want to share some of the swing trades again, or the follow-ups of those trades that we took in our some of our more, let's say, private sessions. But I see that some of you are very active in trading on the Facebook group, trading some trades. That's great. Just always remember how to start your day. Never forget to be positive, to wake up and say how great that day will be. Boost your confidence just by thinking great. Don't start whining or oh man, and you know what I mean, right? It all starts when we wake up. If that goes wrong, everything else will go wrong as well, probably, or not as good, smooth as you want to. And especially with trading, if the mindset is not 100% there, if you're not focused, then you start doing mistakes, right? So yes, we are going to do our outlook, and I have prepared charts that I'm watching, charts that I'm trading, and charts that many of you are also trading. But let's just discuss a few follow-up like swing trades that are still running. For instance, we have the USD and swing trade entering using a daily 1, 2, 3 as filter here. And if you check, you can see it's a big daily 1, 2, 3. We had an entry down here, but the stop, the original stop of a daily entry would be 460 points. If you have a big enough account to add, let's say, money management and say I only risk 1%, then it's okay. Some people have small accounts, they cannot go down in lots, so small lots. So what you have to do, you need to find another reason to enter. So for instance, another reason could be for instance, trying to combine a 4-hourly 1, 2, 3, in this case a steep one with a 5-minute chart, or you go to the 1-hourly chart and enter the trade there in combination with a 5-minute, or as it is, just as it is with retracement to the 12. But the retracement to the 12, a first setup retracement to the 12, is that aggressive? Is that conservative? Who knows? It's not. Yeah, it's steep and therefore a little bit more aggressive because we don't get a retracement back to here. Okay. I also named that last time, so maybe it's a little bit easier to remember. I like to call those steep setups. This is not the perfect example. There worse one than that. This is has actually an okay it looks okay. The retracement is visible. Sometimes there's only retracement of a candle or two candles like that, and price is not really retracing much, right? And we don't have a 50% retracement. But what happens is starting to range like it does here. Yeah. That's a 1-hourly 1, 2, 3. Started to range like here, and then it's breaking and closing lower. Okay, that's what I like to call like a steep creepy setup. Creepy because it's creeping around here, and the ranging. But you want to take those setups only, ideally, in main directions when all higher time frames agree. If targets are big enough, of course, and if you have to take something like that against the main trend, you want to make sure there's enough room. Okay? So the filter for that, either doing it on a daily or the 1-hourly, was the filter, to enter here more aggressive was because the daily chart gave us a huge daily 2 to 3 line break in the direction of the main short trend. Look at the weekly chart, right? So it looked just promising even on the weekly at a 1, 2, 3. So that told us kind of that if price really wants to go down, it might go down to the 200 EMA, to the 633. And that again means that we have a target of maybe 1,000 pips or 1,500 pips long term, even entering a 1-hourly chart. And that means a 1 hour in this case is a lower time frame kind of, yeah, compared to all the big ones. That also means that you have to practice patience. So what we have done here when we traded this in the groups, we took most of the profits out, classic rules, 1, 2 lots, and now on major support, which is really the 633 coming from the daily chart. We have to watch closely. It might, penetrate that, maybe not. So we watch closely. The 4-hourly guide chart is our guide for now, because here we get the most touches. So we always use what makes most sense, and that is always going from the higher time frame to the lower, drawing our charts with our lines, and then keeping those positions, or even reinstate them if you want to, if it makes sense, if there's volatility. Okay, so now we start watching out, because if you have a 1-hourly entry with a 60, 70, what is it, 60 pips stop, price is going down already almost 10 times that much. Of course, what appears, and that is a very good example. What happens when you see, or when we see more and more profits? What happens? What gets activated in our brain? Exactly, greed, right? So, want to make something clear, and I say that all the time. When people don't understand what greed is. Greed, what the definition of greed for most people is, don't take too much, be happy with a little bit. If you want to make too much, it's not even with food, it's the same, You have a big fat schnitzel there, and I don't know, all this kind, you want to eat the whole thing and maybe something else because it's just so, looks juicy. But people get it wrong. When it comes to trading, at least, greed and fear is one thing. Okay, you get greedy out of fear, because you get in there, you take already your first lot, or maybe a second also, and now you see last position in with 10 times what you've risked originally. You just, or much earlier down here, you will say, oh man, I probably have to take it out, or it's just, I need to take that out because I don't want to lose it again. So when you say, I don't want to lose it, I don't want to give it back, what is that? That's not greed anymore. What is that? That's fear. Fear of giving back. So fear and greed is one thing. Okay? Now, I have to tell you differently here, because greed, the way we look at it, is a good thing. Because if it's not combined with fear, what do practically? You want to chase, you want that the price chases your targets, and instead of, having your target down here, having your target somewhere down here, okay, you start moving it lower to the next area of support, right? That's what you want to do, because you just like it, that price, that the numbers are growing, yeah? Before you get there, if you look at numbers, for instance, let me see, what do we have here? Open. So if you see that, like yesterday or something, was it, I don't know, remaining positions are at 900 or 1,000, okay? So you start seeing this, and you say, oh, that's a good number, I don't want to give it back. Now what happens? This has nothing to do with greed anymore. This is fear of giving it back. Okay? So it's a combination now of greed and fear, because you just want to take it out. Okay? Then greed is bad. At that point, greed is bad, because it's combined with fear. But when you say, no, I want to see the number tomorrow being 2,000, because charts are just going my way already, so there's no reason for me to get out, then greed is a great thing. because you make more. Yeah? You make more. And don't say, okay, I have 300 pips, it's enough. Don't be too greedy. Then you haven't understood the principle. You don't get it. Okay? People still think that being greedy is a bad thing because it's just that we misunderstand what greed means. You know what greed is? Like if you take money, make a lot of money, you put it all into your account, into your saving account, and leave it there rotten. Have the bank give me that 1.5% of interest. Just don't touch my money. Okay, this is greed. This is a bad thing because the money in a bank account isn't worth nothing. If you don't have goals, plans, try to do some really good things with this. You need the money to follow your dreams, your goals, and have a better life. But a better life does not mean having money in a bank account sitting. Yeah, that's greed. And because you don't do anything with it, it's a crime actually. Yeah, mental crime. So that's the way I see it. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that practically I've seen that many, many times. And I had a student like a year ago who said, I think he was a dentist somewhere in Canada, USA or Canada, I'm not sure, sorry. He said, I want to trade, and he opened a big account of $200,000, and he traded micro lots, and sometimes if he got a losing trades, he got back to demo. And I said, well, what's wrong with you? Do you not have, is that all the money you have in the bank? Or, in your account, did you accidentally, put all your cash in a trading account? No, he said, that's not that. I make about $1 or $2 million, I think, dollars a year in his pocket because of his job. He had like a big dentist thing there going on, right? So, when I asked him, I said, okay, you make $2 million a year. What do you do with the money? It says, yeah, I have it on different banks, and I just cannot stand the feeling. I cannot stand the feeling of not making money, of losing a little bit of money. So now, who has the big problem now? The guys that don't have enough and trying to make some and risking a lot, or this guy that has a lot of money and doesn't use it for anything because he does not like to see it shrink. So this is an issue. And people have to start fixing this because it's absolutely useless. His kids, if he's going old, will probably have fun using it later on, unless they are the same, they'll think the same way, right? So you have to be careful, and it starts like this. If it doesn't matter if you have money or not. You see, this guy's had a lot of cash, still cannot trade because of fear. And he's really greedy. And he's not a bad guy, but he's just too afraid to do anything with it. Probably some past experience. We're in times when we don't have money and suddenly we have money. We don't want to give it back again just to feel safe, feeling safe, fear, greed. It's a very, very bad combination. But do you understand the difference between greed, the real greed, and the one we are talking about here? Do you get it? Yes, no? It's a different thing. Okay, I cannot click that link. What is that supposed to be? It's an image or something? I'll check it out later on. Okay. There we go. Antonio, well done. Yeah, got a day off. Perfect. So let it go your way. You make more. Be happy about that. Don't get nervous if price is chasing your target. It's really great. Yeah. Now, if you check this chart and you said, okay, 1, 2, 3 here. I know it's steep because we had a big move down before that break. We have always a chance of pricing going back up. That's what we had here for sure. So when this happened, many people that took this trade with us in that live room, okay, they got out as soon as they saw this without any confirmations of a 1, 2, 3 against it on the 1 hourly. And they never got back in. So they are leaving all that in the markets. Okay? And then you try to chase it somewhere when it's too late, doesn't mean anything. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, chicken mentality. Too much fear in combination with greed. Yeah? This greed is a bad greed because you want to snatch a little bit out, but you leave too much in. And you risk something before. Look, when you are here, you enter here, you risk this spot. It's not much, it's what, 60 pips. Okay? It could be that it goes immediately against you. And it would kick you out anyway with a full position. Now you're down here, where you already create a win-win scenario. Why do you want to get out? You have always to remember the reason we take incremental profits is so you don't have the greed-fear combination. If you still have it, then you have too much fear in the bones still. Okay? Can anybody identify with this personally? Not a bad thing. Just need to cure it. Yes? Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Daniel. Okay. So yeah, we know what we have to do. We don't get nuts or something like that. Next target is down here. Let it go. Yeah, we don't want a price to hit our targets too fast. So don't have the target too close. This candle is huge. You see what happened here? You got a big candle here as well. It ended up going back up. The scenario is differently because price broke that line. So something else could happen here, right? Should happen. What is today? Thursday. If that goes down today, tomorrow, it will probably close red in the lower part of that candle. Okay, then you have for sure a good chance of price moving down to here. And that's when we start having fun enjoying those kind of trades. Yeah, for new setups, you know what you have to look for. Yeah, there's one line on your 4-hourly chart. Price will probably move lower and then retrace back. And then you check this and if that breaks, you know what to do. Maybe against the main trade, maybe you want to hedge up something, but it won't happen right now. So there is still plenty of this is my hopefully scenario. Hopefully that's what's going to happen, because if you have the position, that's what you want to see. So you focus on that, not on what if it does not do what I want. That you think about when that happens, not before. Okay? Now there are other positions like the GBP JPY. It's the same thing. Here we had a 5-minute entry with a stop of 30, and this is down at 900. So somebody can do the math. It's 30 times the what is it? 30 times the stop? Yes. Okay, it's a 5-minute entry in combination with a 1-hourly 1, 2, 3. So here everybody can see the power of, was it 1-hourly or was it, yeah, it was this big 1-hourly and the late 5-minute, exactly. Let me check what we did here. And I had like 12 or 15 people in that more private group, right? How many people you think took this trade or the previous one, which was earlier, and are still in? Like out of those 15 people, I think 4 took it and 1 is still in. And I'm not blaming anybody. I just want to open everybody's eyes. People just think that first I say something positive, and when I then say something in parentheses bad, it drags them down. No, it should do exactly the opposite thing. Okay? So when I say we do this, or I do it, and I explain to everybody, and afterwards they do it, and when we then say we keep the remaining position, and we follow them on the higher time frames, right? Then that means that one position or a small position, and this is here is actually too small. I accidentally clicked a 0 more than I should, so luckily there's something in, but the guys know what I mean. When we do it on the higher time frame, that means we don't get out as long as those higher time frames don't tell us to. Yeah. So when we enter late on a late 5-minute entry, because all the higher time frames agreed, and yes, it was aggressive, so you lower you risk less, and you take out that fast, you create your win-win thing down here already. There's nothing to worry about. Let the trade run. Let it, because look, we had this daily 1, 2, 3, and it just looked short. It was steep, yes, but it just looked short because we had breaks on the weekly. We had them everywhere. So there is no reason to get out, not even if you enter in the 5-minute. Okay? Now, you see, you entered here, price retraced on the 1 hourly chart. Yes, it did. It did not even stop at the 36, but where did it stop? If you connect your 3 touches, 4 touches, and extend those, price wanted to reach the area of resistance, which was over the 36, and then it bounced again. So what happened here? Most people that were in here, seeing that making 190, 200 pips, then seeing the price came all the way back up, it's already at the entry point, only another 20, 30 pips of the entry point. So instead of leaving it in and saying, come on, 20 more or less doesn't mean anything, so let it either go up and then maybe I get a 1, 2, 3 and then I get out, or I just leave it. They just closed it just to remove pressure and say, okay, it was a good trade. But this is a much better trade. Yeah, do you agree? Do you agree with that? With the remaining position. Okay? So, taking out some positions out of fear. So it does not matter how many times I sit there and preach things or even take the trades or tell everybody to take the trades, still some people won't do it. Okay, if it's not a pair you're looking at anyway, or it's something you don't want to trade for your own reason, that's a different thing. But if this pair is on your watch list, and if you were in front of the PC and I don't know what, and everything is according to your plan, and you still don't take it or you don't manage it correctly, then you have to figure out what it is. Yeah? When I talk a little bit rough sometimes, I don't do that to play the bad guy, just to wake up some cells in the brain, okay? Because remember, it has all to do not with the brain. Has all to do with your heart, with soul. If that part doesn't work, the brain is useless as well. Get it? Because if there's too much fear of trading in the body, in the soul, the reaction comes from the brain, right? So what will happen? You do start doing mistakes. You act out of fear and greed. Don't do it. Decide not to do that. Then you end up taking a few of those trades, and the guys that were with me the last 3 weeks doing this, Uh, who is in here today that was with us in those live rooms here for the last 3 weeks? Who is in here right now? Some of you must be in here. Yanis, yes. Jeff. Okay, Mark. Tomek, the chicken trader, yes. There we go. Yeah, it was a trading room for the guys that they want to be fund managers mostly. Okay, so we had to get into a little bit more intense. So what happened the last 3 weeks? Yes, we spent about an hour each morning talking about what I'm talking, how I'm talking to you right now. The same thing, okay? But every day for like 3 days a week, and getting into those details a lot. Plus doing just analysis and looking for higher time frame entries in combination with the lower time frames. And I got a few one that are still running and the others are closed. So trading in time, I probably spend all in all, what is it? 1 hour each morning is 9. So we spend about maybe 10 hours the last 3 weeks trading maximum. Yeah, getting these entries and kind of these results. Kind of, I say, because of my live account, I didn't take that many trades. I didn't split too many trades, in parts and positions. I just traded 2 pairs and another one later on because of my account exposure and my own rules. But in percentage, it's exactly the same. It's just not as many positions. Yeah. So GBP JPY is running. The CAD yen, I think, or was it Aussie yen? I have to check the charts. Is running. Some others against the main trend came out. Whatever. I'm just saying that it's not about sitting in front of the PC 10 hours a day. It's about doing the top-down approach like we do it here today. Just a reminder, right? Drawing the lines, preparing for the setups, and then putting some alerts on the lines. And if you get the higher time frame setups in volatile markets, then you trade. If you don't trade when you get the setups, you're violating your own rules. So you have to fire yourself. Okay? Now, you just have to think about it, check what went wrong, don't do it the next time. And now you have a different thing. You can combine 1, 2 touches, 3, change the angle a little bit, ending up here. Still here, you can, going through everything, still connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, kind of. Yeah, it's always the same. It's at least the same area, more or less. Now you have a powerful line that you can use starting from up here. Okay, it's a powerful line in case of retracements, but this is dropping. Let it go down. Okay, no reason to fight that. It's just so great. And you do that with all the other pairs as well where you have trades running. Here we have the CAD yen. Same scenario. This was a 1 hourly entry. This was a hedge trade because we had the big longs. We didn't know this is a range over the weekend. On Friday I was not there. Maybe it goes up, down. So I hedged it. So when it went down and I got a short 1, 2, 3, what do you do with the long position? You get rid of the longs. You leave the short. And I reinstated the shorts, took already incremental profits, and have only 1 lot running. And these are small lots. They're not huge lots. Yeah, 1 lot running, and it's still, yes, it did range, and what we said is this is a trend in a range, right? You know these things, so we don't get nervous. We only have ranges or trends, and if a price is trending and in between we get the range, wait for the range to give you a clean signal. Maybe there's a tiny signal on the lower time frame. You want to try to hedge it up. If it doesn't work, so it doesn't matter. Leave 1 lot running. Yeah, maybe you get some trades against the main trend you want to take because you want to lock in profits or whatever, but you don't. If it doesn't If it's not necessary or it doesn't work, leave that one running because the main trend is short. This will make more profits. And here again, this was a 1 hourly, I think a 1 hourly or 1 hourly 5 minute, I don't even remember. I think it was a 1 hourly setup. Yeah, typical 1 hourly with a stop of 40 points. This is going down 400, so this is 10 times more already with the remaining lot. Let it run. Okay, you have trend lines that are still very, very powerful. You have the 36. This is the guide. This video I will upload, and of course I will also put it into the Facebook group for everybody to look at. I would like you to watch this video, especially my philosophy part here, 2 or 3 times. It will boost confidence, okay? Because we really didn't spend much time doing all that. We just let it run and then market help by being volatile, okay? Aussie yen, same story. Second entry, late entry, yeah, for our own reasons or in combination with lower time frames, yeah. Also the daily chart had a 1, 2, 3. So all these pairs where you got all these big 1, 2, 3s and they're going one direction, everything is pointing down. So we had entries here for some people, entries here. We had the sell here. The sell here was it a hedge? I think it was another hedge, right? Hedge. So price created this. I went short on the other one, reinstated the position. On this one, I just left the short and got rid of the longs. That were, if you check the 4 hourly chart, we had our longs here before. 36 break, 1 to 3 against the main trend, take incremental profits, and when price did something like that, we had to get rid of the remaining long and take the short. Okay, so the stop is already in the profit zone below the 36. That makes sense. But an original stop, there was no stop actually, an original stop, because it was a hedged position, yeah, with just locking in profits. And I think there was a stop for the, yes, there were 3 positions, sorry. So I just have to remember what we did here. So we had a stop about 90 pips if it's the 4 hourly, okay. And price went down already 500 something. So it's a win-win thing again. Some people, I just remember, took these trades here or here. I don't know if there's anybody in the room that took it from here later on with much smaller stops than I had originally. Yeah. So in percentage, more profits down here. Okay, but that is just simply how you trail something. And we had a line here, look. We said 1, 2, 3. So if that 1, 2, 3 would have worked on the 1 hourly, and you wanted to kind of manage this on the 1 hourly because you entered on the 1 hourly, then you would have either, you know, to hedge it up or reverse. Get rid of the shorts, take the long. Yeah. Don't fall in love with a position for too long. It's not healthy. Yeah. The market is not like a like a faithful wife or faithful husband. Yeah, if it sees something, if it sees something, you know, else, or it has to change direction, it will change. So even if you fall in love with your position, the market at some point will just do something else. Okay. So don't fall in love with that position. Just use this position as long as possible. Okay? Great. So daily, look at all those weekly support areas. Yeah. If there is nothing on your chart back then, back here, so you have to find the next area of support. So this is the lowest point down here. We have some touches, so okay, this could be another 200-300 pips. We watch. Yeah, and yes, you can get in if you get new 1 hourly and 4 hourly setups, no problem. Great. What about the Euro Australian dollar? We said yesterday, some of you have this position. Okay, you can hedge it up, or you can do something if price decides something else. So look, if you hedged up a position short, what price did, okay, you maybe get a short, and then it decided to just now do exactly the opposite thing. Okay, so the hedged position is probably out, and then the main long is still running. Okay, so great. Next target was those highs, and then on the weekly chart, probably from the monthly chart, those areas. Yeah, the monthly looks very, very promising. It's a big 1 2 3. And some of you guys have positions here, right? Starting from this 4-hourly 1 2 3. And you see what happened. Yes, you got a short 1 2 3 in the 1-hourly, but it was the 36 on the 4-hourly. So you know what you have to look for. And nothing new. Always make sure you get it right, the right direction. And the direction here is still long. Yeah. Australian dollar, US dollar. We did this, waited for that, price decided for something else, then we had support line acting as resistance. So when things starting to look weird, you stay away from a pair and wait for it to look good again. So if you check this was actually a 4-hourly short 1 2 3, but the 2 to 3 line break is happening right now. So this thing is still at support. Very difficult to spot this tiny red candle here, right? So the 4-hourly entry would actually be this. And yes, it would be a big, probably huge entry with a stop of about 200 points, more or less. Yeah. So you have to look. Daily chart, does it make sense? The 4-hour and the daily did exactly the same thing. Look at this pattern. 1 2 3 4 touches. 1 2 3. Price likes to get back to here. And now check the 4-hourly chart. 1 2 3 4 touches. Price likes to get back to here. The previous support acting as resistance. So is that a good setup? Would that be okay to trade if the account is big enough and you can go for low risk? Yeah, it is very large, but you know what? Everything else agrees. So if you put your risk to minimum in percentage, you say risk 1% on the 1.5%, you can still take it. Yeah, you calculate in percent. Pips don't matter that much, really. Yeah, it's just in the beginning to calculate things, to get a feeling. Yeah, you could. If you don't like it, okay, wait for 1 hourly 1 2 3. Wait for something. The USD Canadian dollar 1 hourly chart. Remember, I went down and down and down, and some of you took, shorts. Tomek, you hedged that up, right? So what does it do now? It's starting to range. Setting a resistance on the 4 hourly. Daily looks like that. Looks also like a short 1 2 3. So I would use higher time frame filters before you do anything. Like I would draw that one, saying okay, let it go up a little bit. Okay, yeah. If you don't like it, the short started up here, right? So on the daily, if you get the 1 2 3, you maybe get a chance on lower time frames to re-enter, and then you can target. So leave a chart like that, so it's ready. Then you know what you have to do, because longs I wouldn't do below the 36. So let it either go up or let it do this. Yeah. New Zealand dollar CHF, we had our first 1 2 3s down here. Some of you took those. So if you have a remaining lot running, you should have one more. Yeah, because remember the higher time frames, the 1 hourly gave a bigger retracement. There was only a retracement on the 4 hourly, getting back to resistance, and there's not that much room to trade this. So they should be in there. Yes, you have horizontal support. And yes, we have to be careful of some reactions here, but I wouldn't go too crazy. Don't worry too much. Yeah. Here again, against the main trend, price went up 290 pips. It broke. We got our short setups. So depending what pairs you were trading, we got signals. We got our 1 hourly charts. We got 4 hourly entries. Price is moving lower. Let it go. Look for higher time frame support. Yes, we have support here. This spike, big one, already bounced, already retested. So we don't know, will it test it again, or will it maybe move lower, creating a lower low and then retest the line. Okay, and you know what to do if that happens. On the weekly it looks like nothing. On lower time frames you could trade, of course, get rid of the shorts and then trade against this big main trend, because there is a lot of room, yeah, in both directions. Yeah, whatever it is, let it be. Yeah. New Zealand, that's a pair I said, you know, we're discussing this for a while. We don't like the way it's spiking all over the place. Yes, it had a 4 hourly 1 to 3, but it's just not looking great. So if you're in there, you just have to hang in. I'm not too convinced of this thing going down anymore, because it's just too tough here. We'll see. Yeah, Tomek, wait, there's nothing else you can do, right? Euro GBP still going up on those higher time frames. Retracements to the don't forget one thing. If you see a 1 hourly setup here in making, but you know there's a 36 on the 4 hourly, don't take the shorts, right? Don't forget that. Only if you like combine with 5 minutes and want to trade for a few pips or something. Yeah. The higher time frames are always in charge, and if the distance between your lower time frame entries and the higher time frame support in this case is too close, you cannot take the trade because of the main trend. Yeah. So what do you do with the angle of that line? You change it now. It's getting closer to the 36 because the retracement was bigger than the previous one. Yeah. Always adjust lines, always. $dollar, Canadian dollar. Look at that. Boom. Just came down. Yeah, I don't like the chart of this one. Too choppy. So I want to see something real first. So I always go to the higher time frames. Check out what I would like to see here. I would like to see that. Sorry. So we wait. Okay? If that breaks, then we start talking. But still, you can draw also the thing with this line here. You have more touches here, so it could also look like that. Price already reacted. So if that breaks, new target would be down here. Yeah, the previous highs, a horizontal line in this area. There's not too much room, so I'm not too happy with this pair right now. Yeah, if I have to think too much, it's not exactly GBP Canadian. The same thing here. We had some, breaks, and then maybe, and the horizontal support. So daily, did we not already? No, it's just almost the same. GBP New Zealand dollar. Yeah, it's too much support. It's not what you want to trade right now. No reason, except if you do bounce trading or something. Yeah, that's a different story. Euro CHF still going down. Went up, 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 up. Now retracing a lot. Yes. What is that? It's a big daily 1, 2, 3, by the way. Yeah, I hope we all see that. It's a big daily 1, 2, 3, and we have to see if that's going up. Yeah, look at the weekly chart. Draw some lines here. Might move a little bit lower. We had potentials for short. Short never happened. So now we have to look for long. So price comes back all the way. It crashed when we had this thing going on last year. It was last year this time, right? It's almost 1 year ago. The price crashed 3,500 points. Yeah. And now it's up again, you know. Crazy. Euro US dollar, this one is still pushing. Now on the daily chart, it will probably reach these areas soon. It makes sense. But then we want to, it's moving steep. We want to watch closely because on the weekly, we got these stories before. Yes, it looks good on this weekly chart, but I wouldn't get too excited here. Wait and see what happens in this area. Yeah. So you see the difference between those pairs that we are covering now and the ones we had before. We had big trends, powerful trends, and here we have slower moving pairs and charts. Yeah. Cable. This was powerful. It retraced. Now you have another daily 1, 2, 3, but for the last week it's just not really going anywhere. So again we draw a daily line, and if price really wants to stay, now it started to range here, so it's maybe a good sign, lower high. If price really stays below here, we can watch for 1 hourly, 4 hourly shorts. Yeah, so we can all take shorts. Target would be the previous low for now, and then the rest of course on the higher time frames if you get any. Here are we are right now here. So then the lows from 2008 where I was still 15 would be here. Okay. Okay, I thought somebody wanted to comment on my previous statement being 15 8 years ago. Why do you think that's a joke? Come on, guys, you're always getting nasty about these things. Shane, there we go. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so what we need is this. Yeah, clean break, hopefully today. Cut CHF. Look at weekly. 1, 2, 3. Look at the daily. Look. When we see, yes, we know on the higher time frame it's a downtrend and we have a weekly 1, 2, 3. Now on the daily, price like to retrace more, and it did also break the 36 EMA. Okay, the price doesn't care that we have EMAs here in our charts, right? But what we have saw here is actually that this was a smaller retracement. Now we have a bigger. When I see price breaks the 36 in one direction and then again in the other direction, I never take trades. This is just, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because I don't have a clean direction anymore. Okay? There's no clean direction. So what I really need is now that I don't even have a nice line or something. Yeah, so the new support line would be that. So what we really need is on this pair a lower low and a lower high. So I probably won't look at this thing for another week. Yeah, so don't spend too much time looking at charts like that. When you check the daily and you don't have a direction, don't trade it. Wait for the lower time. If you have on lower time frames something in 1, 2, 3s and you have resistance that is proven, that's something else. But if it's only something like that, then don't touch it. Okay? Wait for confirmations. There's so many other pairs that you can look at. Okay? CHF yen, we said we wanted to see a 1, 2, 3 wherever. Did we get any? No, not yet. So this here will look steeper. Okay. Now some people probably took aggressive setups, I don't know, maybe on 5-minute charts or something, but a confirmation on a higher time frame, 4 hourly, 1 hourly would be good, because here having the same thing, price went down, it went up, hitting at resistance. So if you don't bounce trade anything, you need to wait for some sign of trend, meaning let the price breathe again in one direction, in and out. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Antonio. Bye. See you. That's it, actually. And if you prepare your charts like that, and you always think about the fear and greed part, and you remember your trading plan, and you remember your trading statement, I say that all the time. Why do you want to trade? Don't give me that I want to buy a house, I want to buy a boat thing, or I want to buy, that is not the reason you want to trade. You're just buying something is not the real reason. Yeah, it's just another thing adding to your, let's say, maybe happiness level or something. Okay, but why? Yeah, figure out what that is that makes you want to trade and make money from that. When you know this and you write it down in a statement and you follow the journal and you create a journal and follow the plan, then things start sinking in really good. And it's good to check for an analysis and compare. Like as I said, when we come back from Las Vegas, we are going to have a live trading room, probably 2 times a day. Yeah, up to 2 times a day. And we have also some special meetings in there every week. But it makes only sense to log in and watch all these things, okay, when you already know what you want to do. If you're still trying, if you still think it's a technical issue, which it is not, okay, then a live room or somebody sitting next to you every day is not going to help in any way. It will maybe confuse you, okay? So it's only good if you have your plan and you have confidence, you know what you want to do, and then you compare your analysis with the analysis we are going to do and some of our students here are going to do with you, okay? Then it makes sense, then it's powerful. Okay? Get it? So we have prepared already everything for it. So when we come back, beginning of March, we just make sure the guys that are going to be with you in the morning and evening sessions, which will be probably Yanis and Tomek, and myself and Jeff as well, in between. We have to like do it a little bit, together, practice it a little bit together, so everybody's ready for it. Okay, it will be great for sure, but you need to have everything prepared. Yeah, you're not just blindly following what everybody's trading in there, but follow your own plan and use this as an extra confirmation, or maybe you see something or hear something you don't remember. Okay, that's why you do this, and you will be part of a bigger group, of course. It's always very powerful, but only if you know what you want. Okay, great, perfect. Guys, I have to run. If you need anything, just send me an email like always. Okay, next week we don't have any sessions, but I promise everything that the previous weeks where we don't have many, you get it all back when I come back. We do much more then. Next week we don't have any because we are going to travel, and when we are back, as I said, from Las Vegas, we talk again. Okay, the email works. If you need anything, send over again your charts, your journals, questions, whatever you need. We will, of course, reply. Now, some people sent me, thank you very much. Some people sent me, Fabrice, I'm just seeing you. Where are you hiding? I haven't seen you in the sessions lately for that link. But doesn't matter, send me an email, right? What was I gonna say? Forgot already. Busy, okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it will be fun in Las Vegas for sure. And I'll catch up with you soon, okay? Bye-bye.